So Charlotte and I are taking a break from cleaning the house. We wanted to get out on a little walk before it gets too warm today. So I brought her to a local dog park, but her health is doing really well. It's pretty stable for right now. We did have a scare the other night. Her mouth really hurt, but we just gave her a bigger dose of um, pain meds, and she seems to be doing fine. She's still enjoying her regular activities, like going out and getting a walk, and then she still loves to eat, which is a really good sign. So right now she's doing well. I'm a little worried that it's going to rain starting next week and she won't be as motivated, but we're going to do our best to keep her active and keep her healthy as long as we can. Good morning, everyone. Now that I'm freshly showered and have my hair done, I feel like I'm camera ready and ready to talk about what we're up to this weekend. This week was a challenging one, and I think all three of us are pretty exhausted. Like I mentioned on our walk, Charlotte had a scary night a few nights ago. Her tumor on this side, it bleeds once in a while, and so it was really bothering her, and we found a couple blood spots, and so we were just nervous that it was like the start of the end because she really wasn't feeling good. But after a few days, she's back to feeling pretty good. Her energy level's back up, and she's eating and walking, and like I said, she's feeling like herself again. And then on top of that, Oz and I both had dentist appointments on Thursday this week, and I kid you not, I have never been so sore from the dentist from just a cleaning. I've never had a cavity or a filling or anything, so I can't judge on what those feel like, but this was the most painful regular cleaning that I've ever had, and I feel like I'm pretty pain tolerant for things like that, but it hurt so bad that there were like 2 or 3 times where I had to stop her and say, my mouth really hurts. And I was like crying, and I almost burst into tears several times, and I was so close to just canceling the whole appointment and just saying forget about it. The only thing that really kept me from doing that is I know that I get really bad plaque buildup and it has to be done, and I really didn't want to come back and have to redo this, so I just wanted to like grin and bear it, but it hurt so bad. I had my fists clenched, sitting backwards in the chair, and I just had my eyes closed as best I could and tried to disassociate. Um, yeah, it was not a fun experience. And then my husband, he went to the same dentist a couple hours later, and I didn't mention too much about my experience, just that my mouth hurt really bad. But he ended up having the same dental hygienist that I did, which I didn't tell him her name or anything. We just talked about it after. But he had the same experience, as that it was really painful. And he actually decided to speak up and say, I'm really sorry, but if this continues to be as painful as it is, I'm going to have to ask for someone else. And at that point, the dental hygienist like started taking off her gloves and her equipment and just like walked away. And they brought him someone else, which he had last year, and she was much more gentle. And when he got back, he's like, "Man, you must have a way higher pain tolerance than I do." And then he told me the story of how he asked for someone else. I'm like, I didn't know you could ask for someone else. I did not know that was an option. If it had been an option that I had known about, I would have probably asked the same thing. But I do have a hard time with even that because I I think I've mentioned I've always been perceived as being difficult and hard to work with. And so I get really self-conscious of that because I don't want to be perceived as the difficult person in every single scenario of my life. So even when it's to the detriment of my safety and my health, I will sometimes ignore that just to make the other person feel better and to like not be the difficult one. So I'm glad he did that, and I'm really glad he said that because now I feel like maybe I can do that in the future. Um, Lesson learned that speak up for yourself when you are in pain and discomfort. So yeah, I thought this weekend we would just have a chill weekend, doing some chores as you saw earlier, and then I do want to get out because it's supposed to be the last nice weekend before it starts to rain next week. And Charlotte needs to get as much sunshine as possible because she hates the rain, and I'm really afraid that will affect her energy level going forward. So we're just gonna take it day by day and enjoy as much as we can. We might go to a pumpkin patch today or tomorrow, we're not sure. And then there's like a viewpoint north of town that I haven't been to that Oz wants to take me to, so we might do that later this evening towards sunset. And then, yeah, at some point I want to go to the bookstore and reward myself for having a terrible time at the dentist. So I think now I have to finish dishes in the kitchen, and I need to make myself something to eat because we're getting close to noon. And so far, the only thing I've had to eat today was a brownie that my husband made. I'm going to go do those two things, and then we will probably go out for a little afternoon outing at some point. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday I ended up pretty exhausted. I used up all my spoons after all of the chores I did, so the afternoon I was pretty spent and didn't have a whole lot of energy. We did go to campus for a little bit and go see the sunset as you saw earlier, but um, I'm just wiped out today. I didn't sleep well last night. Charlotte wasn't feeling good last night either. Her mouth was hurting pretty bad, which just worries me. And even she did sleep well last night, but even when she does sleep well, I don't sleep well because I'm anticipating, like, I just listen for her breathing and uh, noises that she makes when she gets up and wants to go outside, or when she needs more medication. So I'm just on alert all night. So I did sleep. She did have a good night, but it wasn't a sound sleep. It felt like I was like half awake the whole night. So I'm pretty tired. Um, I did make scones this morning though. They were a fig and walnut combination. They turned out pretty good. I really love figs, and we have a fig tree in our side yard, but this year for some reason they didn't ripen. We did have like little starters on all of them, but then they all died off, which is weird. So it was pretty sad we didn't get any, but we subscribed to a weekly produce box from one of our organic local farms, and this week we had some figs. So I made some fig and walnut scones this morning. I will link the recipe below. It was really good. The warm, crunchy walnuts with the fig was a nice combination. I think if I were to make these again though, I would add some autumnal spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and maybe some cloves to give it more of, it had a really light flavor, but I think that could have definitely elevated this recipe. Otherwise it was delicious. This is my second one this morning. But yeah, so after spending all my energy yesterday, I'm taking it really slow this morning. We had breakfast, and Oz took Charlotte out for a couple hours this morning so that I could have my time to recharge. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the bookstore. I think it opens in about 10 minutes or so, so I'm gonna go there after this. But normally when I'm this exhausted or like feeling down, I usually prefer to stay home and like stay in bed and just have a very quiet, introverted day. but today I'm forcing myself to get out of the house and go do something for myself because I feel like I rarely do that, and since this was something that I really wanted to do this weekend, I'm going to do that. So yeah, I'm going to go to the bookstore. I'm not really looking for anything in particular. There's a couple authors I want to see if I can find, but like nothing that I really have on my reading list. So I'm hoping to just find something that inspires me in the moment. Yeah, and then I think I will just read the rest of this morning, and then if I'm feeling up to it, maybe we'll do something as a family later on, because we are still trying to enjoy all the fall activities with Charlotte as much as we can. So hopefully I will have recharged by then, and then we can go to either a pumpkin patch or go on a drive like we did last night. That was really nice. So yeah, that's what I've got in store. So I'm going to finish getting ready, and then let's go to the bookstore. So I'm back from the bookstore, and this is my haul. Jojo Moyes, I got Me Before You. I've already read this one, but it was really good. It was one that I gave a 5-star, and I didn't have a copy of it because I rented it from the library, so I decided to get one. I do have the other 2 in the series, so I did want this one to complete that. And the other one I got was Lois Endrick, Love Medicine. I read her work before in college, but it's been a while, so I thought I would pick this one back up, and I really loved this cover. I have one or two other of her books, Beat Queen and Tracks, so maybe this winter I'll have a month of reading from her work. So those are the 2 I got. They had a ton of books that sparked my interest, but none of them felt like I would want to read in this moment, and I'm trying not to buy books if I don't feel like I'm going to read it soon. So I passed on a lot of others, but I think later on I'll go back and get some more. And then I did want to share with you, I just finished this one, Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. This one was really good. I think Molly over at Highland Hippie Living recommended it, and I found it at Goodwill the other week, and so I picked up a copy, and I'm really glad I did, because this one was a really, really good read. Eleanor is the main character, and she's going through a lot of trauma from her childhood that she hasn't processed. I also think she might be autistic, and other people who have read it too have commented on that. So yeah, it was really good to see her go through her trauma and finally find herself and bring enjoyment to her life, which she was missing for her entire adulthood. And a lot of things that she says and does, I saw a little bit of me in, so it was a really good read. Gave it a 5-star. Would definitely recommend this one. But yeah, so that was about it for books. I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time reading, and then I'm going to end the vlog here, but if we go and do something else this afternoon, I will take you guys along with us. So hope you had a good weekend and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.